And now a 5 on Your Side investigative documentary that led to changes in Cleveland police policy. Back in March, we aired the special The System, a call for help, where we witnessed the aftermath of a brutal domestic violence attack.
5 on Your Side investigators followed this case for a year, even tracking down the suspect twice. But police response was questionable, so much so that within days of airing that report, Police Chief Calvin Williams announced an internal investigation.
We're working on making sure that our process is a lot better.
Tonight, investigator Jonathan Walsh tells us these new policy changes are meant to help catch violent offenders
and better protect their victims.
My initial reaction is there are some things that we did wrong.
That was Cleveland Police Chief Calvin Williams shortly after The System, a call for help aired.
He was literally beating her up and she was about to crash into that tree.
He and his commanders were upset with how police personnel handled our repeated calls for assistance catching then domestic violence suspect Michael Hartman.
We could have been more due diligent in expediting the actual response of the zone car to the area.
Hartman brutally beat his ex-girlfriend, Melissa Loomis. He then skipped out on court. He was threatening to hurt, even kill Melissa for months. She read us some of his texts.
Time to pay the piper. Those who was looking out for you, who will save them?
5 on Your Side investigators tracked Hartman down at his apartment on Cleveland's west side, but officers didn't show up for 3.5 hours. When they did, no search warrant in hand, and they walked away.
Every victim is important, and our response to this particular case is problematic.
After weeks of 5 on Your Side investigators asking for the results of its internal investigation as to what went wrong, the mayor's office released this new policy change. It's from Police Chief Calvin Williams about responding to violent felony warrant calls like this. What do you think about this change?
I think it's great.
Cleveland City Council President Kevin Kelly explained that police will now immediately process these kinds of calls and expeditiously dispatch them according to priority. You might remember the pushback we received when we stood right in front of Hartman's apartment, calling police over and over again, telling them Hartman had warrants.
If we can locate something for Michael Hartman in his 50s that's a white male, then we'll send out there. If we can't, then we won't. That's how that works.
Well, here's how it works now. The dispatcher will send a car to the suspect's location right away while the warrant is being verified. That will cut down on time getting police to the scene.
And I think that this is going to go a long way towards providing a better response for people like Marcia.
Plus, every effort shall be made to contact units that have experience with fugitive warrants. The Deputy Chief of Field Operations, the Commander of Special Services, and the District Commander shall be notified via Code Red.
Just raising the significance and the severity and the seriousness of these types of calls.
Part of our process going forward is to make sure that those certain units are included on incidents such as this.
How do you feel about that?
I'm happy.
We asked Melissa about the policy changes after she courageously told her story.
I would really hate to see, people go through what I went through, because it was horrifying.
Melissa says she thinks it will help other victims down the line, but also admits
I wish they would have made these changes before what happened to me, because it would have been less stressful.
I'm 5 on Your Side investigator Jonathan Walsh.